next week, you guys take on TL. So Shopify takes on TL. I'll start with you two. How well do you think Shopify is going to do versus Team Liquid?
Don't go easy on me, brother.
Based off the data that we have, I would honestly say that Team Liquid would probably win 2-0. Sorry, Juan.
No
I
worries,
know you
man.
pissed it off today.
Who does Dig play next week?
We play Lion. We play Lion. So, hey,
2-0 for Lion as well.
You can bring it right back.
Welcome back to the LCS and to another episode of Pros. I am happy to be joined this week by Contractz, Ignar, and FBI after what we were kind of hyping up as Ultimate Grudge Match Bowl Part 2. How are you guys feeling after
How you guys
that
feeling
one?
over there?
Pretty damn good, man. That was awesome. Yep. Yeah.
Pretty good.
First base Caitlyn without him.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
I do want to talk about, because obviously part of it is because of your three's shared history on NRG, and then also Palafox, his history on Shopify, and with all four of you. How much does it matter? Because we hype these up on broadcasts, and they're really entertaining to us. But like, what is it like going in and facing a former teammate?
Not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous the first time we played versus each other. I felt like I had something to prove, you know. Like I can't let my old teammates beat me, you know. The Shopify Palafox beef. But then after I completely entered that one, I was just like, all right, all expectations are gone. People expect us to be 8th place, to lose every game. I'm always better as the underdog. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that generally when you face your teammates, it kind of depends on like how long ago they were your teammate. I think if they're like your previous teammate from last year, it kind of matters more like the first game, because like Juan said, you really don't want to lose to them. You're like, you know, I was the carry or something like that. But you know, as time goes on, because we were teammates like pretty long ago now, it kind of just matters less. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really care about each other anymore after we've not really
We're
played
just
on
down
each
in the
other.
dumps, mate.
Yeah.
What about you, Ignar?
I mean, I was pretty nervous, to be honest, because I know Juan really gonna kill me. Like I know he really gonna try, so I was really nervous first game.
But not the second, because I feel like the second game he was more in your lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when he was getting hit by our top end jungler, and then I was trying to walking by, and I know he really gonna kill me, and then he did it.
I
So
flashed on him.
yeah.
We talked about it after game 1.
Nice.
Yeah, after the game.
Like how many? I guess that transitions into something you just mentioned, FBI. With you've all played with a ton of people at this point, right? Like you're all veteran players. How many times do you actually stay friends with and like keep in touch with former teammates so you can have that kind of friendly rivalry?
Pretty often I would say, but generally when the season starts, I think you don't really, at least for me, I don't really talk too much to like players on other teams, just trying to focus on ourselves. But you'll always keep like lifelong friends from the memories that you made as teammates most of the time, unless you know there was some drama or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, you'll always be like on good terms with your former teammates.
Yeah, for me, I usually try to focus on the team where I'm on it. But I usually try to like chat with all the players, like which is friendly on the TR client and Discord sometimes. Not often though.
Yeah, I'd say about the same. Like, I'm pretty good friends with a lot of my ex-teammates, but obviously, like, during season and stuff, we don't really, like, talk every day. I do have a handful of old teammates that I talk to pretty often. Like, I think I talk to Decoupled pretty often. And, you know, I talk to Vic every now and then. It's just like, yeah, those bonds just don't break. And, you know, even though you don't talk to each other for a few months or, you know, maybe even a year, like, if you ever, like, happen to see each other, it's like, you kind of get that friendship again.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Is there any? Because I know there used to be a soccer league, right? Is that still going, or?
I was
I know-
never in that.
I was never
No.
part of that.
Oh, no.
No football for me.
Yeah, I know Kobe was trying to start a volleyball league. He didn't invite you guys. Maybe
Yeah,
call Kobe
I
out.
heard that it was going on for a while, but then I remember Vulcan, he like fractured his ankle or something, and he was in a cast and crutches for a bit. And they probably canceled it after that. Not gonna
Yeah,
be,
that
not
was
gonna
in
be honest.
2023, I think.
Yeah.
Back in AG.
I was just curious because I feel like we always see it at least on the AD from like more of a sports perspective. But then any sports teams I've been on, I'm like still friends with people I even played with in college and stuff. You talking to Dokla kind of brings up the next topic though, which was the big match everyone was looking at outside of Ultimate Grudge Match Bowl Part 2 was C9 versus LYON. So I guess talk to me about like if he's talked to you at all about kind of their trip to first stand and how they looked in week 1.
Well, I have a funny story actually. Fudge was supposed to 1v1 Dokla before their match, and they did end up doing that. But I was the first 1v1 because Fudge was not there at the time. So me and Dokla actually played the Rumble Orn matchup, which was his first matchup in game 1. And I think I gave him a lot of fake data.
No.
I think I might have been the reason why he lost that game.
How could you do that to him?
Yeah. But no, honestly, I didn't talk to him too much about how first stand went or anything. So I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. Like, do you know who won Fudge versus Dokla?
I won't go into too many details, but I'm sure it was pretty even.
Okay.
I'm sure it was pretty even.
Nice. We'll protect the innocent
matchups.
Yeah. Were you I guess because we went in thinking we weren't sure where LYON was going to be at. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a international hangover versus C9, who also did not look great at America's Cup. So did that result surprise you at all, or?
I wouldn't say so. I think like, I mean, I don't know how your guys' scrims are, but I feel like LYON is like quite a bit stronger than C9 in scrims. But that's something that they've talked about a lot in like their content, that they're not taking scrims as serious on the C9 side.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was actually pretty surprised. I thought that LYON would take them out just based off, like you said, the scrim results. And also I thought that LYON actually played really well first stands, and their series against JDG, they were getting really big bot leads in like almost every game. So I kind of thought that the series might have been like a big bot gap, but yeah, I'm surprised that C9 won a bit.
How
What
are
do you think,
C9
man?
in scrims, Ignar?
I think they're good, but I just think like, yeah, I'm same as Big. Like I used to speak about LYON on the stage games, and then yeah, they seemed pretty good. So I was a little bit surprised, but I think both team is good. But I just think LYON. I thought LYON was just better.
Did you see anything from them at first stand that you liked as well, or?
I mean, I just think their bot lane did pretty good compared to my expectation, I think.
I know Dokla had said something about, because people are always asking about what Inspired is like as a teammate, just because in all content and in all kind of comms listen-ins, he's obviously like the main dominant voice. And Dokla was like, he's actually a really great teammate because he's very honest and direct. I wanted to ask all of you kind of whether I guess you'd agree with that assessment, and then also because fan perception of these things can be like kind of critical sometimes, what the kind of ideal teammate for you is.
Well, you've played with him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I played
yeah.
with him. I mean, are you asking me what the ideal teammate like looks like, or?
I mean, both. I guess like, would you rather, because I don't know if this is just because of where I'm from and I've received this as feedback that I can be very direct and blunt. And I just chalk it up to me being from Boston, because apparently we're just like that. And I would also rather people be that with me.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of how you receive and like give information, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I was just curious.
I mean, I don't think there's like a blueprint for a perfect teammate, because I think that in a team, you definitely have just a lot of individuals who have very different personalities. But I will say that it is pretty important to have a good EQ as if you want to be a good teammate, and kind of be able to read your teammates' moods and how they will react to certain ways that you speak to them. With that being said, Inspired's obviously a really great player, and it can work being direct if everything is working out well. But I would say League of Legends is a game where your form can definitely fluctuate just throughout the year quite a bit. So if you're in like a downward trend, and you might not take the directness the same way as if you were playing well, for example. So I think, like I said before, I don't think it's like a ideal personality, but it's just important that you kind of have a good understanding of what your teammates are willing to take and just the way that they react to the way that you bring things up.
My ideal teammate, like game wise, I think most important thing is it's good or not. I think they should look same way the game. Like I think that's most important because I think looking same angle or at least like similar angle is makes me really easy to play the game. And then outside of the game, I think just for me, just don't be crazy, then everything's fine for me.
With just a like quick follow up, because I think one of the things that people were noticing with Lion specifically is when they were able to follow up on like a big engage from Inspired, they looked really, really good. When he was kind of controlling the comms, and if they were disjointed, they didn't. We talk a lot, and like players talk a lot about how even if it's not the right call, if everyone is on the same page and you kind of trust someone. So like as a support, because you're doing a lot of like engages, right? What is the kind of ideal communication for you in those situations? Or do you just like go in and you're like, I hope everyone's following me?
Getting that big Lulu shield going.
I mean, for me, like if everyone is watching same way, then doing in scrims, then for me I don't need that much comms, to be honest. Yes, it's better if someone is saying giving more info, like fight now is good or you can engage. Yeah, it's helpful, but I think more important is just naturally doing something together, and then you just know he will gonna go in.
Yeah, I think prepping is always good, like saying that you're gonna look here, or just having like a good back and forth so people are ready to, you know, either follow up or, you know, go for a play. I mean, Ignar would always just scream on stage, you know? Big combo.
Oh, yeah, when I'm in like clear mood, I think I used to scream. I think still sometimes. Yeah.
I think
All
Ignar's
of my
urgency
screaming
on
going on
stage.
today, mate.
Yeah, no screaming. You can't scream on Lulu
We're
and
just
Seraphine.
whispering, help me, please.
Yeah, I would like usually when I'm on engage, I'm screaming.
Yeah.
And then when it's more bigger stage, I feel like I get more hyped, so I speak louder, I think.
Yeah, get that Lulu engage next, you know?
Yeah. Flash ult. Get in
That's
there.
it, yeah.
What do you think, Contractz, in terms of?
In terms of what?
Yeah, just communication structure and.
I mean, in terms of like the ideal teammate thing, for me, I think being blunt and direct is good. I think everyone needs to understand your intention, and I also think the person saying or giving feedback has to be aware of how he's delivering it in terms of like your tonnage, you know, how aggressive you're being, and just having people know what your intention is behind things. I think it can work in like the right environment, but obviously there's going to be some times where people get like frustrated and, you know, get emotional, and things can kind of come out wrong. So I think it's just about having like a good balance of how you say things and that everyone's bought into the same kind of environment.
Since you all played together and your team chemistry on NRG seemed really good, how do you, because again, if someone's delivering negative feedback, it's still going to suck, even if you know it's true, right? So how do you kind of mitigate those feelings or like deal with them?
I would say it's just being realistic. Like, yeah, I mean, we're all pro players, so we kind of know when we mess up already ourselves. And yeah, like there's no point denying it if you clearly entered and your teammate's telling you like, next time I want you to try to do this, then I think you just have to take that responsibility and just do better next time. Yeah, so I think we generally know our own mistakes, I think, after the games most of the time, but they can be helpful to have like your teammate point out something that you might have missed and just try not to take it the wrong way, you know?
Agree.
Yeah, I think same for me. Just if you're a pro player, you kind of know already when you make mistake. So as example, when I get like that stuff, I already know. So I'm already be ready to get like even blame or something. So usually it's fine.
Yeah, it's just about being open-minded and just like holding yourself accountable, really. I think like everyone's just striving to be better, right? And I think if you approach things with like a pretty positive and open mind, then your communication and feedback flow will be good.
For a team like C9, where it seems on stage they're all right, but in scrims, whatever they're doing, and like this is in their own words, I'm not trying to flame them or anything, is either they're not taking it as seriously or they're not learning the right lessons. And I'm sure you've all been in situations where scrims are just going like really, really poorly or like not how you'd want them to. How do you turn that into growth, especially if you're winning on stage?
I think it's pretty hard to identify because things not going well in scrims and going well on stage could be due to a number of factors. I think that for a team like C9, and I'm just purely speculating, I think that they're probably a lot more emotional in scrims. So if you have emotional players in scrims who kind of shut down if things aren't going well in scrims, your day might be a bit rough. But I think when you're on stage, for example, no one's really gonna like give up or like be tilted and stuff like that. But again, I'm just speculating. I don't know exactly what their issues are in scrims, but yeah, it's just team dependent. I think there's no right or wrong answer. It's just being able to identify it within your group and working on fixing it. Yeah.
We've had our fair share of 0-6 days.
Ah, bloody hell. Hey, we won on stage, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did, mate.
What did you take away from our 0-6 days, Ignar?
What do I take away?
Yeah, when we went 0-6. Remember versus the tier 2 team.
Before the finals weekend. Yeah,
the finals weekend. It was DSG.
Was that when our mid laner went home?
yeah. That's when our mid laner went home.
I mean,
Funny times.
for me, I don't know, I don't get too much tilt or lose confidence as a team. But when I'm losing scrims, I usually get tired a lot. So maybe during the feedback, I'm sleeping sometimes. But like I had experience that scrim was bad, but good on stage. When I was in NRG, I think we had really low win rate scrim.
It was like 20%.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
even
Like
lower.
25, man. 25.
I think 20,
Being generous.
15 or 20. But go on stage and everyone was clear. So
Everyone was locked in on stage
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
It was the big difference.
every time I go on stage, just I had feeling that we will today, something like this.
I have a weird off tangent question, and then I'll get back to LCS. But since you guys went to internationals, what was your international scrim performance like compared to your domestic?
When we were on NRG?
Yeah,
It was actually...
It was way better.
It was pretty bad at the start, and then we actually were contesting like the top teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we weren't winning. Like we weren't having winning records, but the games were very like... How do you say it? Like the
they
games
were
were actually
close. They
very
were competitive.
competitive.
They were like,
Yeah.
we were within like 1 to 2K gold,
It would be like a
even
big team
ahead
fight at the end,
sometimes.
yeah.
Like we would have opportunity to like, make good plays. We would still end up losing most of them, but
We'd have like 2-4s and
we
stuff.
I remember we would go like pretty even versus like LNG,
Mhm.
DK. I think versus EU teams we'd either win or
Yeah,
we'd
we
win
were winning
versus most
the
EU teams.
that time.
yeah. I think
Well,
our
not G2.
seriousness.
Not you too.
No,
Not
D2
G2, but the
smoked
other
us
teams, yeah.
every single game.
Yeah,
but then you beat them on stage, so
That's
it's fine.
true. That's all that matters.
we were the stage demons.
Yeah.
The reason why I ask is because everyone always talks about how if they are doing well in scrims domestically, and then they go through this process of losing a lot internationally, it actually can affect team environment. So that's why I was curious.
Well, we were already used
You-
to
yeah,
that.
you were just vibing.
We already lost every scrim game. We're good. This is home.
Were we doing bad in scrims?
No,
at the end?
when at the end, no. But when we
Okay,
first
yeah.
got there,
Yeah.
I think we got there like October, and versus Gen G, we had really good
Yeah,
scrims.
yeah,
like
we had-
all the top
yeah, yeah.
LCK teams, all the top LPL teams.
It was
It,
humbling.
it was 0-6. Like I couldn't, like Peanut was in my jungle level 3 and I couldn't breathe. Stuff like that. And they were not even screaming with Chovy. They were screaming with their tier 2 guy, Ophelia or something, and we still couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Nice.
It
So
was
yeah,
fun.
you guys were fun.
Yeah, we scaled
You're
up though.
vibing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's not to say we didn't have any stressful days. There was still a lot of arguing. I remember
Yeah, we had.
I argued with this guy one time. It was about some bot play.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Like I don't remember the play and stuff, but I remember.
I was heated.
Yeah, but it was actually good though. It
Yeah.
was actually good
It's
because
always good to
yeah.
talk through stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I was just curious because I know you. Yeah, if you're already doing You know, it's like the mind game. If you're already doing poorly in scrims,
It's true.
they can't mental.
You can't
beam
destroy
you.
our mental.
What's a 0-6 to DSG versus Genji? You know, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
So earlier today, we saw, I think, 2 teams that we didn't really have a radar or like a quite on because, again, of a scrims versus stage performance in Team Liquid and Flyquest. So first I'll start off with, since you were the second match, how much did any of you get to watch of that?
That's most of the series.
Pretty much all of it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Especially for game 1. A little bit of game 1.
Did you see anything that like surprised you or was unexpected?
I thought Flyquest draft game 1 was pretty questionable. I don't think playing Ambessa into Pantheon is very good.
I agree.
But it was obviously just comfort, right? So they wanted to go through it with it, but not sure. Just seemed like a lot of the times. I remember in game 1, Quad was getting engaged on like 3 different times, but like Griffin was like on a camp, like very close by in proximity, but they seemed very just disjointed in like the timers that they wanted to fight strong. That's what I felt.
Think they got anything?
No, I didn't feel anything. I don't know. I had no,
Yeah, I
nothing
mean,
special.
I think that the series was actually pretty close, I would say. Like Juan said, I did think that Flyquest draft game 1 was pretty suboptimal. I think if the enemy takes 1P Seraphine, I do believe that they should have responded with Pantheon 1-2, so that they can at least threaten the bot with the global. But yeah, I mean, in game 2, Flyquest bot lane was obviously just complete 1v9. I think TL's bot lane played a bit too aggressively in that lane and tried to overextend. Maybe similar to what happened in my Ignar early league game. So maybe that champion should
I don't think that was a problem, brother.
I mean, I think I played the level 1 quite poorly as well, and then it snowballed pretty hard from there. And they actually did well in their like trading plays. I think Quid had a good TP top, and they shut down Corky. But it was a fun series to watch. I do think both of those teams are just really mechanical and pretty good. So it was a fun series to watch.
Are TL still doing super well in scrims?
Yeah,
Or-
we get
Hey, we're getting blasted by them, mate. What about you?
on a good day we'll go 2-4.
Yeah.
Sometimes
They're
1-5.
good. They're good. They're really
Yeah.
good in scrims. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the reverse question. How difficult is it to target what you need to work on if you are just blasting through everyone in scrims?
I mean, I don't think the games are like hard stomps for at least between us and TL. Like they definitely have the upper hand for sure. But it's not like the games are so clean that they can't take anything away from it. Like if the kills are even, it's like 15 to 16, but you're up 3k gold. There's probably still stuff to take away because you're still dying 14 times. Yeah, I mean, but they definitely play very strong, very fast. I think Jose and Core have really good synergy on when to play strong in enemy jungle, and they're very good at like flipping right away too. So they'll make one play here, and then 45 seconds later, they're on your camps on the other side. So you have to kind of like have to plan around that pretty well.
So what do I take away against here? Screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I learned a lot from Core and Yon. Like in scrims, they're pretty like disciplined about base timing and then wave holding, like this stuff. And then we used to in scrims, me and Big calling wave holder and base canceller. And then I think they're pretty good about that stuff. So we care more on stage or when we play other teams. So we learn a lot from them.
Do you think just because I feel like the discrepancy between what we see on stage and what you guys must see in scrims is maybe not as high in terms of gameplay, but in results? Do you think that they are on par with like a Lion or a C9, who everyone has kind of identified as the top 2, or no?
I would say so for sure. I think that their bot lane is obviously really strong, and I think Quid is probably the best mid in the league. I think he always generates a lot of pressure by himself, and Jose's been playing well, and I think Morgan's just solid. So I definitely think that they're right there with them, if not better. We'll have to see when they match up, yeah.
And then the last 2 teams we have to talk about, Disguised and Sentinels. Did you guys get to watch that match at all, or?
A little bit.
Some of it, yeah. Some of it.
Okay. I'll start with how they've been in scrims then. Like how are Disguised and Sentinels in scrims, and like what is your opinion of how strong they are as teams?
They're teams that we generally have actually pretty good results in scrims, but I think that they're both good teams. I think that they play well around their timers. For DSG, I think that their bot laning phase is probably the biggest weak point that I can see, like personally. But I think that their mid plays pretty aggressively. He's pretty Korean. I think he puts in a lot of pressure and he takes a lot of space. He just kind of plays a bit cocky.
He does a lot.
Yeah, but he has the mechanics to back it up. And I think their jungler seems alright. What do you think, mate?
He's like an inspired light.
He's like
He's like an inspired light. Yeah, he just always goes for like the most efficient play. I think sometimes he gets pretty emotional around camps though. Like if you take his camps or invade enough, he'll kind of get a little bit like, oh, I need to fight my blue or I need to fight my red. So I think that's he definitely doesn't adapt as well as Inspired would, but I think he has promise. He has good mechanics and team fights decent. So, but overall, I think DC usually has our hand in scrims. Not gonna lie, they usually. I think we had like 4 or 5 days where we went 2-4 versus them, but the most recent one we beat them. So they usually beat us in scrims.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about Sentinels?
Yeah, we lose to them too.
Scrims are fake. Scrims are really fake. I think.
Yeah.
Twan is always very locked in on stage. You know, when he's on stage, he's a different animal. So
Why is that?
you gotta take the scrims against Shopify with a grain of salt.
Nah, I've been performing in scrims recently.
Have
I'm
you?
not gonna lie.
Ah,
I've
mate.
changed. I've
Ah.
flipped it.
No, you're doing well. You're doing well.
I
mate.
flipped it, man.
I don't know. We haven't scrimmed you, man.
I mean, we scrimmed like a month ago, no? 3
A
weeks
month
ago?
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys got owned.
Sure.
It was
You did take us out.
6-0,
You did
by
take
the
us
way.
And
out. Yeah, man.
Juan
Hey,
messaged
calm it
me.
down, man.
Juan messaged me all you guys first day screaming when we are doing like already a week. So
No, we're not bad in scrims, I would say, but stage performance obviously leaves a bit to be desired, as you can see.
Yeah, were the XU tweets true? With the
Yeah.
So it was,
think we
it
got-
was
we got
good the
fisted
day
the
one,
next
and
day.
then the day was rough.
Huh?
Or day 2 was rough. Because he had like 3 tweets in a row, I think, or 2 tweets.
Oh
in a
no,
row?
no. So we had 3 scrim wins in a row,
Okay.
like 3 in a row, and then we got fisted, I think, by Flyquest on the 4th day.
Mm.
Yeah. Flyquest actually play
yeah.
really well. I think they just came back from Korea, so I think their mechanics are like peaking, and they just take every skill check. If your hands aren't up to par, you kind of get run over. So
Yeah, no, I got absolutely owned yesterday versus Flyquest. 1-5.
and we'll take it, mate. We got one.
Hey, you ready for Sage?
What do you, I guess, based on I'll flip it to Sentinels just because we talked about them a bit less. We on the outside got to see more of them because they did go to America's Cup as well. How would you like rate them as a team and where they're at? Because I feel like there's for at least from the outside, there's like C9, there's like Lion and C9 LYON at the top. And then there's kind of wherever you want to put TL based on like scrim results and the roster they have. And then for me, it's really the rest of the LCS is like very nebulous. So where does Sentinels kind of fit in there? Because they were, I don't know if you guys thought this was unexpected, but I was very surprised that they finished as high as they did in Split 1.
What do you think, man? Ignar?
I mean, I was a little bit surprised too, but I feel like after like top teams like midfields, I think can beat everyone each other on a mood, on a weekend mood. So I think their bot lane when they're in good mood, I think they're pretty strong. So they're decent, I think.
It's all about mood, huh?
I guess.
I was gonna say you said
Hey.
Hanbok was like the craziest jungler because you never know what he's gonna do.
I mean, to
The
be honest,
last time we
he's
talked.
not that crazy. He just doesn't.
There's no river. Is there a river? There's no river, mate.
River is another level, bro.
Yeah,
River is like fucking Hanbok like flipped 3 or 180. Like he's like, I don't know. Hanbok still does play creative, and he goes for, you know, the level 1 invades, the level 3 dives. Like he'll definitely play a lot crazier in that regard. But I think, I mean, in this meta where it's so bot focused, I feel like playing that style is a lot better. I feel like junglers nowadays aren't really punishing level 1 as much. It's kind of just a handshake last split. So that's definitely something that I've been trying to improve on too, because I feel like I've lost my creativity a little bit. Trying to bring it back, and Humba kind of inspired me there. So
Nice. Do you think that'll change at all? Because I feel like I saw it in LPL too from watching LPL, but one of the things I think the LPL teams kind of brought to First Stand is their willingness to actually go for level 1s and some weird stuff very early.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to spread at all, or?
Depends on who's doing their homework because, yeah, like you said, I think LPL, a lot of their games explode very early. I think they have good game plans around pushing bots, especially stuff like Caitlyn Elise, and it's clear that when they load into the game, they all kind of already have an idea of what they want to do and how they want to pressure the game. And sometimes it's very brutal to watch those games. Kind of similar to our game too today. But I think that the way that the LPL abuses pushing bots and the way that they play around it is definitely something that's really good.
yeah, honestly, that was kind of a first for me. I've never sieged a bot lane for 3 waves in a row.
Yeah, it was a bit. I don't want to talk about the game, man.
Sorry.
One thing I'll pull it away before we like quickly go over kind of predictions or like what it's gonna look like next week. One thing I'm curious about, just now that we've had an entire split of it, is separating side selection and first pick in draft. Do you guys like it? Dislike it? Doesn't matter? Has made a difference? Hasn't made a difference? Like, what do you think thus far?
I think it's a good change. I do think that. I mean, personally, I do prefer blue side. So I was also kind of surprised because we took first pick and you guys chose the red side map. But I've always been a blue side enjoyer, like for the map.
Red side's pretty OP at punishing bot lane.
God damn it.
Well, it depends
me
on
alone.
jungle and tempo really matters though, because you can
Yeah.
do. There's a lot of. I won't go into
Yeah,
my deep
there's
darkest
like
details or secrets here, but there's a little bit of things that you can do with jungle pathing early.
Maybe for junglers they have a different view of the map. My map is just focused on the bot lane.
Yeah, that's true.
Any thoughts, mate?
I'm kind of same. I like blue map more. So, but seems like left side is more OP. But yeah, I like blue side more.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really have a preference too much besides the red side thing, but I don't know. It's just like a way to keep the game pretty dynamic, and just you have to think about how you draft a little bit differently, which is fun.
Has there ever been a point where your coach or your teammates wanted one side or one pick and you wanted the opposite side?
Probably, yeah. Like
I'm sure it's happened before,
definitely
yeah.
happened.
Especially with Christian, man.
God
Or Palafox.
damn.
We got our
it
3-hour
definitely
draft
happens from
meetings.
time to time, yeah. Definitely happens.
no,
But
good
it's normally not that big of a deal. You normally figure
It's
it out.
always good to have someone piloting draft though, and having strong opinions about it. Keeps the conversation flowing
For a very long time.
for a very long time.
Nice. Moving on to next week. You guys take on TL, so Shopify takes on TL. I'll start with you two. How well do you think Shopify is going to do versus Team Liquid?
Don't go easy on me, brother.
Based off the data that we have, I would honestly say that Team Liquid would probably win 2-0. Sorry, Juan.
No
I
worries,
know you
man.
fisted us today,
Who
but
does Dig play next week?
we play Lion. We play Lion. So, hey,
2-0
hey,
for
you can
Lion
bring
as well.
You can bring it right back. But I can definitely see Shopify maybe taking a game with Juan's creative red slide pathing. But I do think that Team Liquid, their laners are probably just better, I would say. I think Quid is obviously, like I said before, I think he's just the best mid. And then I think their bot lane is probably stronger than Shopify too. And yeah, I mean, sorry, man. I think they're going to win. Yeah.
Yeah, I think tier more high chance to win, in my opinion. But I think SR can beat. Like when they're good mood, I think I just feel like if you're just on good mood or good weekend, I think can beat anyone. So can beat for sure. But I just think their bot lane is pretty good. Tier bot lane is pretty good.
Nice.
Think Juan, we're giving you a buff here. Keep in mind, you said you wanted to be the underdog.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true. I
That'll
can
put me in a
never-
good mood.
Yeah, good mood's all it takes. Just be in a good mood, mate.
I can never predict you to win again.
Yeah, just keep me on your fantasy team, though,
if you
please.
want to stay winning.
Keep working.
What's your outlook? Because you will be going up against Jose
No, Jose has honestly
Trying to
been
think.
playing really well. I think the way he plays with his team, like they all are on the same page and play a really fast style. And honestly, it's pretty respectable because I always thought Jose was really good mechanically, but I never thought like he was like, I don't know. I felt like he wasn't able to shine when he was in LCS before, and I felt like he was just kind of like thrown like back out of LCS and didn't really get a fair chance. So seeing him do well is honestly makes me pretty happy because I always thought he was really good. But yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be a hard game for sure. They just choke you out once they get a lead, and I'm gonna have to get very creative
Red
on
side.
red side.
I'll be seeing you on the red side of the map.
on
I
red
hope.
side. Yep.
So on the same day, Dignitas take on Lion Gaming.
2-0.
Juan, the floor is
So
yours.
fast, right?
Let me see. Dokla versus Photon. I'll give that to Dokla. Let's see. XG versus Lion Inspired. Yeah, I'll give it Inspired. I mean, it'll probably just be a 2-0 for Lion, yeah. But
Fair.
yeah, as Ignar says, anything can happen on a good mood. And Inspired might not be fully recovered from whatever he was dealing with this weekend, maybe.
Was he sick or something? Or-
He was
Yeah,
in
he had an ear infection.
Yeah.
He had to be in because he had to have one of the cups like off of his ear
Oh.
because
Yeah.
it was like really.
Hope he
painful,
feels better.
so, yeah.
I kind of don't.
You-
I'm kidding.
You tell him that.
I'd never
You-
wish
you
ill
tell
will
him
on
that.
any player of the LCS.
Yeah. I mean, Lion's just one of those teams that just like slowly just bleeds you out. And once they're also similar to TL, but like just a little bit slower paced, where they just play for objectives and just make it so you really don't have a play on the map. And yeah, I think Lion will probably just cleanly take it to 2-0.
Cleanly? Come on, man. Come on.
I'm
Come on. Are
pretty-
you sure? Are you sure though? All right.
I'll see. Show me this weekend.
Fair enough.
How do you guys overcome Lion?
Well, I think we have a lot to take away from our stage matches today. I think, like I said before, our scrims were actually looking pretty decent, but I think that the way that we communicate and the way that we have to maybe deal with some stage nerves and stuff like that, it's a week one thing. So hopefully we can iron those stuff out, and then, I don't know, man, let's just play well.
Yeah, good move.
Good mood. Good mood's all it
Good mood
takes.
day, Ignar.
Yeah, I mean, today was a little bit chaotic. I think everyone was a little bit overhyped because we are playing on stage. So yeah, just need to prepare. Like, try to go back to like scrims at least. I think then maybe we have chance. Maybe
Good mood.
good mood.
Good move.
And then on Sunday, the first match is DSG versus Fly.
No, we'll go with Fly.
Yeah, definitely would say Fly too.
Fly.
2-0, 2-1.
I think 2-0. I actually think that Master in particular, I think that he's kind of back in form now after he went to Korea. I think that from the end of last year till maybe like last split, I didn't feel like he was performing that well, to be honest. But I think he's really good at the moment, I would say. I think that they'll probably bot gap them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think CrowdGen has honestly been pretty impressive, at least in scrims too. I feel like he's also one of those, I wouldn't say like a Busio light, but he like plays very aggro on vision and just like tries to kind of like play a little bit cocky, kind of like bluff a bit. And I think like having that kind of play style is like something you need to be, a great support. So yeah, I think probably the bot lane will gap as well.
Why are Flyquest gonna win, Ignar?
I think Fly gonna win. I think I have a little bit trauma by Flycast because I think they're really fast, and then I think their bot lane is really good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna say Fly win.
And then Sentinels C9.
You go on.
It's just so hard to predict, honestly. I feel like it really is a good mood, good weekend vibe.
Good mood, diff.
Yeah. But I mean, I think C9 will probably close it out. If anything, like 2-1. I think they're just stronger all across the board. And I feel like they got some confidence back this weekend. So
I think C9 win from my feeling from the scrims. I think they're just, and then seems like on stage they're just better, much better than scrims. So C9 win.
It's kind of boring if we will go the same
Yeah.
route. So I'm
Sentinels
going to go
2-1.
Sentinels 2-1. I think that C9 has been looking a lot shakier in scrims, and even though they won versus Lion, I didn't actually watch too much of the series, so I don't know how they won exactly. But I think Sentinels is they have like a solid team identity. I think that they have Rahel on like a safe carry, impact on a tank, and then they play around their jungler, and he kind of tries to get stuff happening with support. So that kind of play style is pretty good on stage, I think, and hopefully they can win. I don't know.
Yeah.
For my prediction, hopefully they can win.
I was scrimming Sentinels this week. I told them good luck tomorrow, and Impact said he was just like didn't ask, and then I said I hope he loses 1v1 really hard,
Oh
and
no,
he got
so you cursed him.
yeah, he got owned.
Oh,
Honestly,
no.
Castle played very well. Like
Yeah, no,
the
Castle
Aurora
really good.
solo kills were nice.
The Q
The Q
prediction on the
predict?
fly.
Yeah.
That was really sick.
I replayed that like 5 times or so.
Yeah,
good.
he was smurfing.
Castle's the goat. Also give Castle more interviews.
Should have got Castle on you. Why do we? Why are me Ignar on you? And this is embarrassing.
From production just said stay tuned next week.
Next
maybe,
week,
maybe we'll have Castle on
Let's go
next week.
Castle.
We're done here for today, though. Thank you so much to all 3 of you. This was
Thank
really
you.
fun. I've learned good mood now. I'm going to use that
mood.
on
Thank
all
you.
of my analyst test days as well. Thank you for watching or listening on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. And we will see you for week 2 of the spring split and more LCS next week.